Okay guys, welcome back for Deuteronomy chapter 23. And just a heads up, this is a little bit more of a graphic chapter. Alright, verse 1. No one who is emasculated or has his male organ cut off shall enter the assembly of the Lord, which is just a double bummer right there. Verse 2. No one of illegitimate birth shall enter the assembly of the Lord. None of his descendants, even to the 10th generation, shall enter the assembly of the Lord. Edomites and Egyptians were living amongst the Israelites at this time. Most likely, this law did not exclude one from residence in the area where Israel was to live if they turned to following the God of Israel, but from public offices and honors, intermarriage, and participation in the religious rites at the tabernacle, plus later at the temple. So those rites were for God's chosen people only. Verse 3. No Ammonite or Moabite shall enter the assembly of the Lord. None of their descendants, even to the 10th generation, shall ever enter the assembly of the Lord. Because they did not meet you with food and water on the way when you came out of Egypt, and because they hired against you Balaam, the son of Beor, from Pethor of Mesopotamia, to curse you. Verse 5. Nevertheless, the Lord your God was not willing to listen to Balaam, but the Lord your God turned the curse into a blessing for you, because the Lord your God loves you. You shall never seek their peace or their prosperity all your days. People from Ammon and Moab were excluded on account of their vicious hostility towards God and Israel. Many of the Israelites were settled east of the Jordan in the immediate neighborhood of these people. So God raised this wall to prevent the evils of idolatrous influence. Verse 7. You shall not detest an Edomite, for he is your brother. You shall not detest an Egyptian, because you were an alien in his land. The sons of the 3rd generation who are born to them may enter the assembly of the Lord. When you go out as an army against your enemies, you shall keep yourself from every evil thing. If there is among you any man who is unclean because of a nocturnal emission, then he must go out outside the camp. He may not re-enter the camp. But it shall be when the evening approaches, he shall bathe himself with water, and at sundown he may re-enter the camp. Verse 12. You shall also have a place outside the camp and go out there, and you shall have a spade among your tools. And it shall be when you sit down outside, you shall dig with it, and shall turn to cover up your excrement. So it's their outhouse right here. Verse 14. Since the Lord your God walks in the midst of your camp to deliver you, and to defeat your enemies before you, therefore your camp must be holy, and he must not see anything indecent among you, or he will turn away from you. Verse 15. You shall not hand over to his master a slave who has escaped from his master to you. He shall live with you in your midst, in the place which he shall choose in one of your towns where it pleases him. You shall not mistreat him. Reminder that they were in the same circumstances just a few years earlier. Verse 17. None of the daughters of Israel shall be a cult prostitute, nor shall any of the sons of Israel be a cult prostitute, which was a form of worship in the pagan communities. You shall not bring the hire of a harlot or the wages of a dog, which my concordance states that in the Hebrew language, dog is a euphemism or gentler term for a male prostitute. So back to 18. You shall not bring the hire of a harlot or the wages of a dog into the house of the Lord your God for any votive offering, for both of these are an abomination to the Lord your God. Verse 19. You shall not charge interest to your countrymen, interest on money, food, or anything that may be loaned at interest. You may charge interest to a foreigner, but to your countrymen you shall not charge interest, so that the Lord your God may bless you in all that you undertake in the land which you are about to enter to possess. When you make a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not delay to pay it, for it would be sin in you, and the Lord your God will surely require it of you. However, if you refrain from vowing, it would not be sin in you. You shall be careful to perform what goes out from your lips, just as you have voluntarily vowed to the Lord your God what you have promised. Something we all need to be very careful of, not only in making promises to others, but especially before God. Verse 24. When you enter your neighbor's vineyard, then you may eat grapes until you are fully satisfied, but you shall not put any in your basket. When you enter your neighbor's standing grain, Then you may pluck the heads with your hand, but you shall not wield a sickle in your neighbor's standing grain. Farmers were to share their produce with the fellow people of the land, the Israelites, but the people were not to take advantage of the farmer's generosity. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here. Hope you have a wonderful day. Looking forward to tomorrow. God bless you.